Ngayong Biyernes sa DOST Report. Kilalanin ng ilang industry associations partners ng Department of Science and Technology. Alamin ang suportang ibinibigay ng DOST para maging competitive ang mga food products mula sa probinsya ng Laguna. Yan ang ibabahagi sa atin ni Mr. Jerry Uruquia, President, Association of Laguna Food Processors. Paano nga ba makatutulong ang Science and Technology Intervention para mapalakas ang native pig production sa bansa? Yan naman ang sasagutin ng founder at president ng Philippine Native Pig Owners Network Association Incorporated na si Mr. Fabian Maximilian Cabriga. Alamin din ang mga teknolohiya at serbisyong teknikal na kailangan ng fashion industry sa bansa mula kay Ms. Carissa P. Cruz Evangelista, ang chairperson, Philippine Fashion Coalition. At ibabahagi naman ni Professor Zenaida F. Velasco, President, Nutritionist Dietitians Association of the Philippines, ang kanilang programa katuwang ang DOST Food and Nutrition Institute para maitaguyod at maiangat ang nutrition practices at dietetics profession sa bansa. Lahat ng yan at ibang balita tungkol sa Agham at Teknolohiya sa bansa ngayong nagdaang linggo mula mismo kay DOST Secretary Fortunato Boy de la Peña. Pakanutukan natin yan sa DOST Report tuwing Biyernes alas 4 ng hapon sa DOST TV Facebook page at YouTube channel. Mga napapanahong balita tungkol sa Agham at Teknolohiya para sa bayan ang hatid ng DOST Report. Magandang araw Pilipinas, ako po si Oling Miranda, ang inyong kapatid sa Mabawid. At kasama po natin ang kalihim ng kagawaran ng Agham at Teknolohiya, ang nag-iisang DOST Secretary Fortunato Boy de la Peña. Magandang araw po, Sec Boy.
Magandang araw naman, Onin, at magandang araw sa lahat ng ating taga-subaybay.
Maya-maya po ay may mga kasama tayo mga panauhin mula sa ilang industry sectors na kinilala ang papel na ginagampanan ng Agham, teknolohiya at inobasyon at pananaliksik na patuloy na napapalago at napapaunlad ang kanilang mga industriya. Makasama po natin ang mga representante mula sa food industry, native pig production industry, fashion industry at mula sa isang professional industry for nutrition. Pero bago yan, pakinggan muna natin ang mga balitang hatid ni Secretary Boy.
Salamat, Onin. As usual, I will first report on the kalusugan and kabuhayan achievements or accomplishments for the week. Allow me to start with kalusugan. The first here is a report by our DOST Food and Nutrition Research Institute that their virgin coconut oil study will soon go international. So the DOST FNRI, together with Dr. Toby Dairit of Ateneo de Manila University, will have a meeting with Mr. Taraka Wikebandara of Sri Lanka to discuss the research findings on BCO trials for COVID-19 patients because of the interest of Sri Lanka to conduct a similar study in Sri Lanka. The second kalusugan report comes from DOST Camiguin or from DOST Region 10. DOST Camiguin and the provincial local government partner is now producing nutritious milk for undernourished children. And this is because the DOST and the provincial LGU of Camiguin jointly put up a dairy processing plant that has a total daily production of about 80 to 100 liters a day from just 20 milking heads that produce an average of 4 to 6 liters a day per head. Not so big a number, but it's good for a start. Through the intervention, 2,777 undernourished children are now being given safe, fresh, and nutritious milk in the island. It was DOST Camiguin which provided the food-grade high-end dairy equipment such as the batch pasteurizer, the ice bank, the homogenizer, the finished product holding tank, and the boiler hot water set, which amounts to 1.7 million pesos. Aside from equipment, DOST also extends free technical consultations, good manufacturing practice training, packaging and labeling improvement, and laboratory services to ensure highly sanitized production for safe consumption of the products. The meat produced in the facility is bought in bulk by the Department of Education. And this is to be distributed to undernourished children from all parts of the island simultaneously with the education modules, even during this pandemic. The next report comes from the National Research Council of the Philippines from one of their projects that they have supported. And the finding is that there is a possible treatment to the most prominent disease in dairy animals. The support supported by the NRCP has found that the chemical characteristics of mangrove organisms could be used in producing medicine for treatment of mastitis. This is a kind of disease infecting dairy farm animals. Based on laboratory evaluation and tests, the results provided new information on the medical potential of the mangrove organisms that may cure mastitis. Mastitis is a dairy cattle disease characterized by the inflammation of the mammary gland and other tissues, which reduces milk production and quality. It is a major endemic disease of dairy cattle and has cost dairy farmers massive amounts for medication of their dairy animals. Mastitis usually occurs as an immune response to bacterial invasion present in the farm. It constitutes the main cause of economic losses and are the reasons why antibiotics are utilized in the dairy industry. The project was led by Dr. Irene Papa with the title Characterization and Production of Secondary Metabolites from Actinomycetes Isolated from Rare Environments Against Methicillin-Resistant Staphylococcus aureus or MRSA, which causes mastitis in cows. The NRCP-supported research output has a potential to be a new line of drugs for veterinary health to be made as antibiotic cream, ointment, injectable for treatment of the mastitis disease of dairy cows. And one of the policies that could be generated in the project is the protection of the mangroves as sites for sources of bioactives or substances with biological effect against important pathogens. Okay, the next report is the Talaandig tribal community, okay, in Bukidnon benefits from what we call chemical-free carrot production technology. Okay, so there were 15 farmers from the Talaandig tribal community in Talakag, Bukidnon, who were provided training by the DOST. It's actually a trainer's training to produce chemical-free carrots. So this is done with TESDA and the Binahon Agroforestry Farm. This new endeavor has provided 212 IP or indigenous people's households in the area responding to the farmers that I mentioned to reduce farm input cost of farmers. Shifting to chemical-free production can save the families about 25,740 pesos input per hectare and also an additional profit of around 608,000 per cycle. The farmers are cultivating all in all about 1,300 hectares of agricultural land, which they plan to fully convert into organic farmlands. The milestone is made possible through a community empowerment through science and technology project and is a special project funded by the DOST card in partnership with DOST Region 10. The title is Enhancing the Chemical-Free Carrot Food Value Chain through Smart Technologies and Partnerships Towards Food Resiliency in the New Normal in Region 10. The next the next report is coming from DOST Region 11, and this has something to do with the Great Women Project 2. DOST Region 11 and Great Women Project 2 conducted trainings on the proper use of food additives, coloring, and preservatives. In support of women-led entrepreneurs, the Great Women Project 2 of DOST 11, in partnership with the Philippine Commission on Women and the Government of Canada, conducted the seminar on appropriate use of food additives colorings, and preservatives last August 13. The seminar aimed to refresh its on food safety principles and protocols, as well as tips, techniques, and concepts in making food products safe for the consumers by knowing FDA-approved additives. Food science and food safety experts and food technologists from the DOST Industrial Technology Development Institute, or ITDI, led by Lourdes Monteviergen, shared relevant information on the appropriate use of food additives, colorings, and preservatives, and their harmful effects if not used properly. Still on kabuhayan, we have a report coming from DOST Caraga, and this is when they introduced the so-called Norwegian type of fish cages in Agusan del Norte. The Provincial Science and Technology Center of Agusan del Norte will be introducing the 15-meter diameter double collar fish cage, otherwise known as the Norwegian sea cage. Okay, and they are introducing this to a company named Tabam's Fish Cages, which is located in Barangay Kahayagan, Carmen, Agusan del Norte. With the science and technology intervention, the company will now eliminate the excessive cost of materials for the bamboo fish cages, which are frequently damaged by winds and waves, and so they have to replace every now and then. The Norwegian type fish cage is expected to increase production volume that could better meet the demands of the expanding market. Still on kabuhayan, the DOST Philippine Textile Research Institute is partnering with a construction firm named Ongpeng Santos Construction, or OSCON. Okay, they have this agreement with this company to develop natural fibers for smart indoor furnishings. And so PTRI and OSCON signed a memorandum of agreement. This will find innovative applications, or these materials, natural fibers will find innovative applications, for example, in public school buildings and other civil works with varying specifications. The collaboration is under the DOST PTRI's program called Constructions and Buildings Using Indigenous Locally Developed Natural Textiles, or Co-Build Tex program, that looks into natural textile fiber-based innovations for green and smart structural applications. The program looks into building interiors and how natural textile innovations in installations can improve indoor environmental quality with indoor thermal insulation, sound insulation, light management, odor management, and air quality. Another project under the same program studies exteriors in the promotion of sustainable material and process innovations for industry. The versatility of natural textile materials from bamboo and banana fiber provides new revenue streams for producers and processors alike in the countryside. Now, a report from DOST Calabarzon, they say that the vacuum freeze drying technology has excited many food, micro, small, and medium enterprises in Cavite. There were 60 participants representing food enterprises, cooperatives, farmer associations, and government agencies who attended the Technology Opportunity Seminar on the use of vacuum freeze drying facilities last September 2 via Zoom. The DOST Calabarzon, through its Provincial Science and Technology Center in Cavite, organizes tech ops activities to introduce science technology innovations in business. Dr. Adelisa Dorado from the UP Los Baños was the resource person. Preservation, longevity of shelf life, and hygroscopicity or water absorptivity, which allows for easy reconstitution, were mentioned as PULS, PULLS, or advantages of the technology. She emphasized that the vacuum freeze drying process preserves the nutrient content of fruits or vegetables as compared to other drying methods such as air or sun drying. However, the long duration of processing time for freeze drying and the high operating cost also is what they call the weight or the disadvantage of the technology. Magaling siya, pero medyo mahal. The Cavite Office of the Provincial Agriculturist expressed interest in adopting the technology for their Assisted Farmers Associations. The DOST Calabarzon has acquired a vacuum freeze drying equipment currently housed in the Calabarzon Food Solutions Hub in Laguna. And this is for use of the Association of Laguna Food Processors and other food enterprises in the region in developing and commercializing novel food products. Still on Kabuhayan, our Advanced Manufacturing Center or AMCEN at the Metals Industry Research and Development Center has conducted a webinar on 3D printing for local enterprises. So the DOST-MIRDC AMCEN actually continues to pursue its commitment to our public to enhance additive manufacturing activities through the conduct of training, and they have entitled this Industrial 3D Printing of Metals, Ceramics, Composites, and Polymers with DOST AMCEN. Okay, it's subtitled Preparing Your Company for Industry 4.0. So you can see various types of materials can be used in 3D printing. This activity is part of the Connect 3D Minds ecosystem, wherein the AMCEN explores collaborations in product and human resource development for additive manufacturing. So through virtual platforms, the AMCEN disseminates information about the various and versatile uses of 3D printing for functional prototyping, for manufacturing customized toolings and fixtures, and for manufacturing on-demand spare parts. Along with the dissemination of this valuable information, AMCEN is strategically presented its services to stakeholders who are potential users of 3D printing technologies, which are housed at the AMCEN facility. The AMCEN is open to serve the additive manufacturing requirements of clients, and they encourage research and development collaboration. Still on Kabuhayan, we now have a Cacao R&D Center under the DOST NICER program, or the NITS centers in the regions. Okay, with funding from DOST, the University of Southern Mindanao, or USM, launched the Cacao R&D Center last August 27, 2021, as part of the NITS centers in the regions for R&D program. This is under the Science for Change program. The Cacao R&D Center is expected to address challenges affecting the cacao industry, and they hope to increase supply amidst increasing global and local demand for cacao beans and byproducts. Being the Center for Genetic Diversity of Cacao in the Philippines, USM has been addressing problems in the cacao industry such as low-quality bean product and lack of standard agricultural processes for cacao production. USM Cacao R&D Center will serve as a training site for cacao production, processing, product development, and marketing. This will also be the source of breeding and experimental materials for cacao R&D and clones for the reproduction and multiplication. The cacao production and profitability are expected to increase with the research on innovative processing approaches of cacao beans. The USM Cacao Gene Bank will be upgraded for conservation, rehabilitation, and utilization in cacao varietal improvement. So in that launching, officials and R&D partners from DOST, including DOST Picard, the DA Bureau of Plant Industry, regional offices, and cacao stakeholders from the state universities and colleges in the private sector were in attendance. And from DOST Caragay, still on Kabuhayan, the Caragay State University has established, with the support from DOST, a packaging and labeling innovation center for DOST-Industry. Okay, so the objective of the project is to increase the operational growth of the food manufacturing sector by providing access to knowledge and materials on product packaging, affordable and high-quality packaging materials to MSMEs in the Caraga region. The Packaging and Labeling Innovation Center, which is a research and development facility, is the first of its kind in the region. Its main objective is to provide access to the entrepreneurial knowledge and the materials necessary for product packaging. The facility is equipped with state-of-the-art equipment for producing packaging materials and the printing of label designs such as box prototyping, machine, automatic plastic jar making machine, sticker label printer, UV LED printer, and UV laminating machine. Last September 3, 2021, DOST Caraga, together with with Cagayan State University, conducted an orientation on the prototyping of packaging materials for selected beneficiaries from the 5 provinces of the Caraga region. So the establishment of the Packaging and Labeling Innovation Center in Caraga region will definitely help our MSMEs to come up with their preferred designs for the packaging materials for products to be introduced in the market. Now, the Philippines and Indonesia, this is another accomplishment for the week. The Philippines and Indonesia has forged ties to strengthen their halal programs. And so on September 9, 2021, the DOST Industrial Technology Development Institute, or ITDI, together with DOST Region 11, have forged a memorandum of understanding with Indonesia's Universitas Ahmad Dahlan, okay, particularly in relation to their halal center. The collaboration will be executed through joint R&D projects and capacity building projects on the following priority areas: halal R&D, knowledge exchange, human resource development, halal standards, and halal verification and testing. The DOST Secretary, recognizing the importance of the halal industry, has encouraged the development and promotion of halal products and services that adhere to international standards. During the signing ceremony, the implementing institutions, namely ITDI Region 11 and USAID, expressed their utmost commitment in empowering the halal sector through pursuing a systematic integration of innovation to the halal processes and in producing more strategic initiatives. So this partnership is also set to capacitate human resource development programs that will enable a more competent and dynamic research community in halal science. Now, that is all for kalusugan and kabuhayan on it.
Maraming salamat po, Secretary Boy. Unang bahagi pa lang po yan. Marami pa kaming dalang balita sa inyo sa magbalik ng DOST Report. Para sa pagpapatuloy na ikalawang bahagi ng DOST Report, narito pong muli si Secretary Boy.
Ngayon naman ay ang aming mga accomplishments for the week under kaayusan and kinabukasan. Under kaayusan, the first one is a report from our Region 8. Southern Leyte now requires DOST develop, or the DOST Region 6 develop SPAS, the Safe, Swift, and Smart Passage, a technology developed by DOST Region 6 and is now being required in the province of Southern Leyte at the provincial borders, including the ports which are managed by the Philippine Ports Authority. SPAS is an online travel management system primarily intended to efficiently manage movement of Filipino travelers and local tourists in the regions. The PIADF of Southern Leyte convened last August 31 for a meeting to discuss COVID-19 updates, including the Delta variant, and the formulation of a new executive order and also SPAS implementation. The meeting was presided by Provincial Governor and Provincial IATF Chairman, Governor Damian Mercado, and it was attended by different local government units and member agencies, including the DOST through its Provincial Science and Technology Center of PSTC. Now, come from DOST Region 2, they report here that they are supporting a project that will enable Puga Island to have access to clean and potable water. The DOST Region 2 signed a memorandum of agreement with the Philippine Navy Marine Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Julius Incierto, the Naval Task Group Fleet Marine, and the local government of Apari for the project entitled Promoting Health and Sanitation in Puga Island through access to clean and potable water. This was done on September 2, 2021, and to be funded under the DOST Region 2 Grants in Aid Program. After a series of assessments and project visits in the area, Puga Island will now be receiving a RAM pump power technology, a technology that will address issues on sustainable water and water treatment and also suited for its particular location. Once installed, about 2,000 residents in the island will benefit from the project. So in line with this initiative, DOST Region 2 has already conducted an orientation on the hydraulic ram pump by the technology generator, Don Honoria Ventura State University of Region 3. We are now on the next item, and this is a report by DOST Region 2 together with NEDA Region 2. DOST 2, NEDA 2 led the RGIN replication project. The DOST2, together with the National Economic and Development Authority Region 2, headed the Regional Geographic Information Network Geoportal Innovation Hub Replication Project launch on September 8, 2021. The RGIN is created to establish a collaborative network of regional and provincial geographic information system or GIS centers. It aims to provide accurate and up-to-date geospatial data and information. Aside from that, it aims to facilitate easy access to geographic information and services. 6 pilot regions in the Philippines were chosen as sites for the replication of this innovation hub. These are regions 1 for Luzon, 6 and 8 for Visayas, and 9, 12, and Caraga for Mindanao. The regional directors from the respective regional offices of NEDA and DOST signed a memorandum of agreement regarding their partnership. The DOST secretary, I first recommended the establishment of this RGIN Geoportal Innovation Hubs in the regions on August 27, 2019. That was 2 years ago, during the Cagayan Valley's launching of its own RGIN Geoportal Innovation Hub. And now we move to the last K, kinabukasan. The DOST Philippine Council for Health Research and Development, PCHRD, has welcomed the 12th batch of MD PhD scholars. Okay? Ito yung mga pinagsasabay ang degree na MD and PhD. The DOST PCHRD, in partnership with the University of the Philippines, Manila, MD PhD in Molecular Medicine program, welcomed the 12th batch of MD PhD scholars into its fold. This was last September 11, 2021. This was through a virtual get-together with the team Hiraya tungo sa bagong umaga. Our DOST PCHRD Executive Director, Dr. Jaime Montoya, the Dean of the UP Manila College of Medicine, Dr. Charlotte Chiong, and the Chairperson of the Vaccine Experts Panel, Dr. Nina Gloriani, were present to give their greetings and offer inspirational messages. Graduates and ongoing scholars also shared stories and words of encouragement as they start their long, tedious, but noble and fulfilling journey to become doctor researchers. The MD PhD in molecular medicine is an 8-year double degree, double doctorate degree program offered by UP Manila College of Medicine and supported by DOST PCHRT. It is the first and only one of its kind in our country. DOST currently monitors 94 scholars, 21 of which have already finished the program and are working in different sectors of society. A significantly small number compared to the country's need for physicians, scientists, especially now that the country is racing against the spread and further mutation of COVID-19. Next, in kinabukasan is an initiative of the DOST at the National Capital Region. And the DOST NCR organized its first assembly. This is called the Regional Research Development and Innovation Committee. Since its institutionalization under the Regional Development Council through RDC NCR Resolution Number 2 dated June 26, 2021, this RRDIC ensures that the R&D and S&T initiatives of the national government agencies in the region are relevant, responsive, and aligned to the Regional Development Trust, thereby strengthening science, technology, and innovation in the National Capital Region. The DOST NCR serves as the RRDIC chairperson along with the MMDA, Metro Manila Development Authority Planning Service, as its vice chairperson. And there are selected national government agencies involved here, DTI NCR, the Philippine Statistics Authority NCR, the DOH, Metro Manila, and we have the DILG NCR, the DA BAR, and the CHED NCR. Metro Manila local government units, city planning and development offices are its members also, and the Metropolitan Manila Industry, Energy, and Emerging Technology R&D Consortium, and the Metro Manila Health Research and Development Consortium are the ones in its advisory group. And last but not least, DOST participated in the 9th China ASEAN Technology Transfer Center Forum. The DOST Secretary virtually joined the opening ceremony of the 9th Forum on China ASEAN Technology Transfer and Collaborative Innovation, which was held on September 9, 2021 in Nanning, Guangxi, People's Republic of China. The annual forum was hosted by the China ASEAN Technology Transfer Center, or CATTC, the Guangxi Provincial Government, and the Ministry of Science and Technology of China. In my message there, I emphasized the role of science, technology, and innovation in the Philippine government's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. I also highlighted the importance of the Philippines-China science and technology relations. During that event, the China ASEAN Technology Transfer Center, or CATTC, also launched the innovation space for CATTC talents and the third ASEAN Plus 3 Young Scientist Forum with the theme Youth Power for Sustainable Development. So several ASEAN science technology leaders joined the opening ceremony of the China ASEAN Technology Transfer Center Forum. That ends our DOST report on in covering kalusugan, kabuhayan, kaayusan at kinabukasan. Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat po, Sec Boy. May nakaligtaan ka bang panoorin sa mga balitang ibinahagi ni Secretary Boy? Maaaring mong balik-balikan ang DOST Report. I-follow lang ang aming Facebook page at DOST-TV-PH at mag-subscribe sa aming YouTube channel, DOST-TV Science for the People. Sa aming pagbabalik, makakasama na natin ang mga representante ng mga nanatanging industry associations na ngayon ay partners ng DOST. Magbabalik po ang DOST Report.
Plastic na mabilis mabulok? Pwede. Nag-develop ang Department of Science and Technology, Industrial Technology Development Institute o DOST-ITDI ng plastic spoon and fork na mayroong starch o almirol, isang natural material na karaniwang nakukuha mula sa mais, cassava, kamote at patatas. Ibabahagi ito sa atin ni Dr. Marisa Paglikawan, Scientist 1 at Head of the Advanced Materials Section ng DOST-ITDI. Abangan yan sa Expert Talk Online tuwing Miyerkules, alas 5 ng hapon sa DOST TV Facebook page at YouTube channel.
Ay po'y nakatutok sa DOST Report. Isa sa layunin ng Department of Science and Technology ang makipagtulungan sa iba't ibang industriya upang maisulong ang kaunlaran para sa pag-angat ng ating ekonomiya. Kaya naman nagbibigay ng tulong at suporta ang DOST sa iba't ibang mga industriya upang mapabilis ang produksyon, maiangat ang kalidad ng mga produkto at serbisyo at mapagbuti ang lakas paggawa sa tulong ng Agham, Teknolohiya, Inobasyon at Pananaliksik. At yan po ang pag-uusapan natin ngayong araw.
Tama ka, Onin, at mula sa apat na grupo o sektor o industriya ang ating kapanayam ngayon. Meron tayong nanggagaling sa sektor ng nutrisyon, merong nanggagaling sa sektor ng food, merong nanggagaling sa sektor ng livestock, particularly yung ating native pig producers, at meron naman tayo sa sektor ng fashion industry. So yan ang ating mga panauhin ngayon, Onin.
Tama po, Sec Boy. Narito po ang mga kinatawan ng mga industry and professional associations na makasama natin ngayon. Mr. Jerry Urukia, President, Association of Laguna Food Processors. Mr. Fabian Maximilian B. Cabriga, President, Philippine Native Pig Owners Association Incorporated. Professor Zenaida F. Velasco, President, Nutritionist Dietitians Association of the Philippines. Cariza P. Cruz Evangelista, Chairperson, Philippine Fashion Coalition.
Alam mo, Onin, simulan natin sa ating food industry at gaya na nabanggit, si Jerry Uriquia ay nagre-represent sa Laguna Food Processors Association. Alam naman natin, napakadaming masasarap na pagkain na nanggagaling sa Laguna. Meron diyang buko pie, merong puto binyan, may espasol. Ako may paborito ako dyan, yung mga kending sampalok na nanggagaling sa Laguna. At upang ma-promote itong mga food products na ito at masuportahin ng ating food entrepreneurs sa Laguna, very active ang collaboration ng ating DOST Regional Office, ang DOST Calabarzon, at ang Laguna Food Processors Association. Kaya yan ang ating pag-uusapan siguro ngayon with Jerry Uriquia.
Tama po yan, Secretary Boy. Kaya naman ang tagline nila ay the home of the best heritage and exquisite food products of the province of Laguna, championing homegrown entrepreneurs. At mapalad po tayo na mapaunlakan ngayong araw ng kanilang Pangulo na si Mr. Jerry Uruquia. Magandang araw sa iyo, Sir Jerry.
Magandang araw po at magandang araw din kay Secretary Boy at sa ating mga kasamahan.
Sa paanong paraan, Jerry, nakakatulong ang Laguna Food Processors Association sa inyong mga miyembro? At ano ba ang vision mo para dito sa inyong asosasyon bilang leader ng asosasyon?
Ang aming pong samahan ay mapalad na naging partner ng DTI 4A, DOST 4A at saka ng LSPU. Yung pong aming partnership, nag-uumpisa sa mga members namin sa Alafop na may mga idea sa mga produkto na gusto nilang negosyohin. Tapos si DOST naman po ang magdi-develop ng mga produkto na yon at gagawa nila ng magandang study, magandang standardization ng product at si DTI naman po yung magmamarket ng mga produktong na-develop ni DOST. Kaya complete po yung cycle ng assistance sa association namin. Ang vision naman po namin sa aming asosasyon ay ma-continue yung innovation ng mga produkto, lalong-lalo na yung mga produkto na gumagamit ng mga byproduct o yung waste ng ibang malalaking company. Kagaya po dito sa amin, napakarami ang nyog. Kaya yung sapal po, pinag-aralan po namin. Meron po kami mga dinidevelop na produkto na gawa sa sapal. At siguro sa mga susunod pong panahon ay mailalabas namin yung mga produkto na yon.
Alright. Sa inyo pong palagay, paano po makakatulong ang mga science and technology interventions para bangin sa katuparan ang inyong vision?
Sa food industry po, ang una namin nagiging problema dito ay shelf life. Talaga pong laging pagka po yung mga produkto namin ay inabutan ng expiration, wala na po kaming magagawa doon. It's a loss for us. Kaya po yung bagong makina, bagong equipment ng DOST na nandun sa CIFO, sa Calabarzon Solution Hub, ay merong capacity para mapatagal ang produkto hanggang sa 5 taon na hindi nawawala yung nutrition content, yung color, yung aroma, yung shape. Kaya napakaganda po nitong technology na ito na tinatrial namin. At yung mga product po naman na gagawin doon, meron kaming coffee, meron kaming yung sinigang na instant sinigang, instant pakbet na maaari nating gawing emergency food sa mga nasalanta ng kalamidad. Yung emergency food na po yun, makikita natin, hindi siya tinipid kasi kung instant sinigang, meron talaga siyang buo-buong karne na makakain ng ating mga kababayan na nasalanta ng unos.
Kamusta sir ang collaboration ng inyong asosasyon at ng DOST sa pamumuno po ng DOST Calabarzon?
Napaka hands-on po ng DOST Calabarzon sa amin, lalong-lalo si Ma'am Emmy Bagsit, na siya mismo talaga yung kaharap namin pag nagmi-meeting kami. Siya yung kinukonsult namin, ma'am, ito po ang aming mga produktong nais i-trial dun sa vacuum freeze dryer na yon. So, ang bilis po ng aksyon, ang bilis ng aming desisyon para, sige, ito yung itatrial natin. Dahil nandun na agad si Ma'am Emmy na okay agad sa kanya at sabi naman ni DTI, maganda yung proposal product kasi ay talagang may market silang nakikita.
Jerry, siguro 2 tanong ito. Yung una, madali lang sagutin. Ano ba yung product line mo? Yung sariling kumpanya o yung production? At yung pangalawa, sa tingin mo ba anong mga technical skills, expertise, know-how, at saka mga technologies ang kakailanganin pa ninyo at ng aming mapaghandaan yan?
Sir, ako po ay nasa pasalubong item. Meron po akong buko pie, meron po akong 3-in-1 buko kasaba de leche. Yung po ay pinagsama-sama ko na buko pie, kasaba cake at leche flan in 1. First 3-in-1 Pinoy delicacy. Meron din po ako mga Pinoy biscuit, yung ating mga paborita, otap, yung mga puto seko. At saka meron din po ako yung ginagawang biscuit namin na galing sa sapal ng nyog. Tapos yung pong aming association, continue nga po yung innovation noong mga produkto doon sa CIFOS. At ang nakikita ko pong mahalagang intervention, kasi po sa marami kaming miyembro na MSME, maliliit lang po talaga at to be honest, ngayon po ay more than half ng aming member ay napaka-relax ngayon dahil nga sa pandemic. So, ramdam po namin na apektado sila. Sana po pagbalik ng sigla ng ekonomiya ay muli silang maging active para makatulong sa pagpapalago ng ating negosyo. Ang nakikita ko po sa amin, cost po sa amin yung pagpapalaboratory ng ng produkto kasi syempre po ito ay kakainin natin, kinakailangan ma-sure natin na malinis, safe yung produkto. Halimbawa po sa akin, may itlog ang mga product ko, kinakailangan lagi akong nagpapacheck ng salmonella at saka E. coli. So medyo mahal po at saka nag-aantay ka ng time para magawa. Baka po sana meron ang DOST na ma-develop na yung isang kit instant. Kung meron po tayo nung parang pregnancy test, napapatakan lang ng ihi, alam natin kung positive. Baka merong ang DOST na isang kit na ikikis-kis lang namin doon yung produkto namin, malalaman namin kung may salmonella o may E. coli yung produkto namin. Kasi po ang itlog, yung mga kasaba na raw materials ko, hindi naman po yun standard kagaya ng gatas na pwede kang humingi ng certification sa company na ito ay safe sa ganun o ganun. Pagdating po dun sa mga agricultural raw materials, hindi po siya standard. Kaya kung meron po sanang ganung kit, mas maganda po at masisigurado naming safe yung produktong ipoproduce namin.
Dumako naman po tayo sa livestock industry, specifically sa native pig production industry. Makasama po natin Mr. Fabian Maximilian Cabriga, President, Philippine Native Pig Owners Network Association Incorporated. Magandang araw po, Sir Ian.
Magandang araw din sa inyo, Sir Onin, kay Sec Boy at sa ating mga kasamahan ngayon dito.
Ang Philippine Native Pig Owners Network po, Association Incorporated ay isang non-stock, non-profit organization na nakatuon sa pagtitipon po ng mga native pig raisers at tulungan sila na makabuo ng sariling produkto gamit ang kanilang mga alagang native pigs. Gumagawa po sila ng standards for breeding, nutrition, and proper health management para sa native pigs. Layunin po ng asosyasyon ito na makatulong sa conservation at development po ng native pig breeds sa pagnatatag ng Philippine native pig industry.
Unang-una, ako'y natutuwa at ngayon ko lang nalaman na merong asosasyon ang ating Philippine Native Pig Owners Producers, ano? At yung kanilang mga ginagawa ay talagang para sa makabubuti sa kanilang mga miyembro. So siguro itanong ko lang, Ian, ano ba ang vision mo para sa inyong asosasyon at paano makakatulong ang science and technology?
Napakaganda po ng tanong na yan, Sir. Balisek, ang aming grupo po ay we envision to be the premier producer of quality native pig breeds in the Philippines. First and foremost, I believe that the DOST can help in the DNA profiling of beneficial and unique genes that can further study and develop just like the native pigs in other countries such as Taiwan, Japan, Korea, and the like, sir.
Apo, ang native pig production po ay isa sa mga industriya na sinusuportahan ng DOST, Philippine Council for Agriculture, Aquatic and Natural Resources Research and Development o DOST PCARD. Kamusta naman po, Sir Ian, ang collaboration po ninyo with DOST PCARD?
With DOST PCARD, marami po kaming mga pag-uusap. Una po na riyan yung pagdating nga po sa DNA profiling na kailangan po talaga ng ating native na baboy dahil for so many years, ang mga native na baboy, ito yung mga kinukonsider na bansot o stunted growth. So we need to really develop the native pig breeds kasi it really has a unique taste that has a great potential, especially para doon sa mga lechon industry po natin. Dahil pagdating sa lechon, second to none ang native na baboy pagdating sa lasa. May unique taste siya. So isa yan sa mga pinag-uusapan namin nila Doc Sinan Baguio at nila Doc Ronnie Di Caso. In fact, last August 2 kami po ay bumisita sa isang project po with DOST PCARD sa Marinduque State College with Doc Arnold Monleon. And nagbigay rin po ako ng inputs doon regarding po sa product development ng ating native na baboy. At nakita ko maganda na po yung progress nung ginagawa nila ron.
Puro medyo iibahin ko tanong ko Ian, ano ang nakikita mong future share ng market ng native pig? Kasi ngayon hindi ba karamihan na kinakain natin yung mga puti na baboy na inaalagaan sa mga malalaking contract groups, ano? Itong livestock, sa tingin mo kailan magkakaroon ng malaking share at saka gaano kalaki yung tinatarget na share?
Okay sir, napakaganda po ng question ninyo. Siguro bigyan natin ng population nitong native na baboy. Let's say 10% nitong kabuang baboy nito ng 9.6 million. So let's say mga 960,000 na lang siya. Pagpalagay natin na 2,500 per head, so that translates to 24 billion. So yung native na baboy po really contributes sa ating swine industry. Not to mention, yung lechon po natin, ang talagang hinahanap po niyan ay yung native na baboy kasi may premium price siya. So, nade-develop na rin po namin siya. Kaya lang, ang problema lang po is yung continuation, yung sustainability. Dahil ilan lang yung baboy na meron po tayo ngayon at hindi pa siya pare-parehas ng standards. Kaya gusto po namin mauna muna ma-develop yung breed natin na true to type para pagdating ng production, anticipated na natin yung may puproduce na baboy. Hindi naman po talaga siya pang commercial pork na nabibili natin sa mga pamilihang merkado natin. Hindi siya yung table pork natin. Ito po talaga specialized, pwede siyang gawing sausage, pwede siyang gawing hotdogs, katulad din ng ginagawa sa mga pork natin. Pero mas premium yung kanyang price dahil unang-una yung supply is napakahirap. Katulad na lang po ngayon, ang standing price po ng baboy na native ngayon, ang farm gate po is 330 pesos. So napakamahal po. Nakikita namin yung potential natin dyan katulad ng baboy po sa Japan, yung kurubota, no? Napaka-premium ng price niya. So pwede rin po natin siyang ma-develop ng ganun na talagang magkakaroon tayo ng sarili nating brand ng pork. Masasabi natin, may pagmamalaki po talaga natin na ito'y tatak Pilipino. Pilipinas po ang nag-develop po nito.
Maraming po salamat, Mr. Fabian Maximilian Cabriga, President, Philippine Native Pig Owners Network Association Incorporated. Mapa naman tayo sa kauna-unahang National Business Support Organization para sa Philippine Fashion Industry, ang Philippine Fashion Coalition. Makasama po natin ang current chairperson nito na si Ms. Cariza P. Cruz Evangelista. Siya rin po ang head designer at owner ng Beatriz Accessories. Magandang araw po, Ma'am Evangelista.
Magandang araw, Onin, Secretary Boy de la Peña at mga ibang panauhin na nandito sa araw na to. At gusto ko din batiin ang mga nanonood ngayon sa Facebook at ang mga kasamahan ko sa textile at fashion. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you po.
Maraming pong salamat, ma'am. Ang Philippine Fashion Coalition ay nabuo para mapanatili, mataguyod, at maprotektahan ang kulturang Pilipino. Maitaguyod po ang domestic preference ng Filipino fashion textile industry at mapayabong ang mga lokal na talento at disenyo. Ang PFC, mga kaibigan, ay binubuo po ng mga Filipino fashion professionals, designers, manufacturers, retailers, brands, fashion show producers, and event companies, fashion press and digital creators, models, model agencies, stylists, hair and makeup artists, at marami pang iba. Ms. Cariza, ano po ang vision nyo para sa Philippine Fashion Coalition at sa paanong paraan makakatulong po ang science and technology intervention dito?
Ang Philippine Fashion Coalition ay may 4 na mga sektor. Yan yung disenyo, design, creative services, textile arts and crafts, and education. Ang hindi po na-mention kanina, education, at yan ang pinaka-importanting foundation para sa development ng siyensya at development for design and also for production. So, saan po ang makakatulong ang DOST? Ang development ng protective outerwear project. Yan ang isa sa mga projects na pinupush namin ngayon dahil we believe that textile should be the backbone of the fashion industry. At nangyari sa ating textile industry na wala yung mga commercial textiles na nandito sa Pilipinas. And naging net importer tayo ng mga textiles. Meron lang tayong mga artisan textiles na tutulungan. Pero for a country to grow, hindi lang importante ang pag-build ng mga roads and bridges at ang pagkain. Ang importante din yung textile industry na nandun. And it goes down in all aspects kasi gaya ng sabi ng PTRI, meron niyang soil to skin program. Tutulungan niya yung mga farmers, yung mga humahabi, tapos tutulungan din yan yung mga gumagawa ng mga baro, and then down the line din yung mga businessman. So meron kaming pinupush na law na RA 9242. Ito yung paggawa ng mga paggamit ng mga Philippine natural fibers and fabric para sa mga uniforme para sa gobyerno. And this has been pushed for a very long time, actually 20 years na. Sana, through the help of DOST, working with other agencies, mangyari na to. Dahil if you're going to be taking a look at 1.8 government employees, that could be a potential 9 billion to 10.5 billion that will be created na revenue for the textile industry. And it will trickle down also to the regional sewers as that which are part of the program of our protective outerwear project in each of the regions. So yung vision namin, all the 4 sectors, yung design, creative services, textile, arts and crafts, and education will all be very strong and be able to protect, preserve Filipino culture, foster our domestic talent, and optimize our resources and competitive advantages. Dahil ang galing naman ng Pilipino, di ba? Cut across, nakikita mo naman na yung mga yung yamang mga bags natin, yung yamang mga textile natin, pati yung pag-iisip natin, di ba? Ang daming mga inventor na galing dito sa Pilipinas at mga scientists. The basis of design actually is in science. So for
Yes.
you need to be a creative thinker to be a designer, and that's one of the main strengths also of creative engineers, creative architects, creative scientists. Sinabi na nga yung mga programmer natin mas creative kaysa mga programmer na galing sa ibang bansa. So, looking at this sa creative services natin, how we can start developing programs also for fashion, digital fashion, and separate industries moving forward. Hindi lang yung pag-strengthen ng mga textile para meron tayong strong fashion industry, but looking toward saan ang mga opportunity areas na dapat tumingin ng fashion for the next phase. Because once we plan, hindi yan para sa buhay na natin. Dapat yan para sa mga anak natin at para sa mga apo natin.
Ito siguro ay isang magandang pagkakataon para tawag dito, palaguin namin yung aming inuumpisahang parang marriage ng technology and the arts, no? At alam mo naman sa fashion, yan may pagka-art yan, no? Pero I think technology can do something about this industry. Of course, ang isang nagcha-champion ng ating creative industries ay walang iba kung hindi yung dear brother ni Carissa, si Congressman Top de Venecia. Carissa, siguro pwede mo bang pakikwento lang kung ano itong tinatawag na protective outwear project na isa sa pinag-collaboratean ng Philippine Fashion Coalition at ng Philippine Textile Research Institute?
Yes, sir. Ang Protective Outerwear Program ay isang programa na actually galing sa isa mga designer namin na head sa Davao. So meron sector na nandoon na naisip niya na habang nagkokonsulta sa Civil Service Commission na nalaman na merong posibilidad na ang ang RA 9242 hindi fully implemented pa. So may posibilidad na dapat and push na dapat ang lahat ng mga ahensya gumamit ng textile para sa uniforms nila. Pero ang nangyari, sorry po mahina po yung Tagalog ko, pero naintindihan ko lahat. Okay, so, dahil sa pandemya, nagkaroon ng sitwasyon na lahat kailangan may protective outerwear. So, hindi kailangan palaging medical grade. So we thought that baka merong potential na dahil in preparation for the development of the RA 9242, we would encourage all the textile manufacturers to come up with an antimicrobial and protective outerwear that would be that could be used, and it could be used by all the government agencies. So it's textile cut across different agencies, but not with natural fibers yet. And then from that, it will be able to spur revenue in each of the regions. So ang mangyari, maraming magkakaroon ng trabaho. There will be 25,000 cut across the whole country na magkakaroon ng trabaho dito. This would be in coordination with DOST and DTI and other agencies that could help us. So we're trying to create a program wherein we'll be able to help ourselves during this time. Dahil may requirement naman talaga na magprotekta ng mga tao, 'di ba? Meron kayong mga mask programs, maybe we could come up with the protective outerwear programs. The role of PTRI was to test the fabric and to encourage and to give us advice on how to do the possible cutting, digital cutting, and maybe 3D body scanning later on, because there are a number of amazing kinds of technologies that are available with PTRI that not just the Philippine Fashion Coalition and our stakeholders, but maybe all the schools and all the countries' businesses could avail of this service. Kaya talagang saludo ako sa DOST at sa PTRI at nagpapasalamat ako ng lubos-lubusan at tinulungan nila kami.
Napakahalaga ng binanggit na proyekto ni Carissa at ayun nga, susuporta tayo dyan. Unang naisip ko parate yung ating mga health workers, di ba, na kailangan nila ng protective outerwear. Pero meron din akong nabasa noon o nakita sa mga presentation ng PTRI, hindi lang naman pala dito sa mga damit na ganito yung textile, pati sa mga sapatos pwedeng gamitin, at iba't ibang produkto na pwedeng paggamitan ng ating textile. So, Carissa, bukod mo sa binanggit mo, which I think we will really, shall we say, prepare for seriously yung tungkol sa digital designs, magkaroon ng training dyan at ng facility for that. Ano pa ang ibang technologies na nakikita mo? Meron pa ba bukod doon na gusto mong banggitin dito?
Sir, meron pong kayong program na development of non-woven textile na wala pang MOA na nasa-sign po sa footwear industry. That's something that we would like to pursue, to develop natural fibers for non-woven as alternative leather material. So maybe this can be used not just for footwear, but also for bags and other accessories, and maybe even for clothing, and include the aspects of water repellency, maybe filtration efficiency. So not just looking at construction type materials or for automotive or filtration, but then also for wearables. So that's something that we were hoping that you could still pursue. There was a discussion that was done already with one of our members in footwear, and we hope that you will continue this. Meron din po kaming mga request for pursuing, at least for footwear po, yung prototyping that would involve 3D modeling, not just body scanning for clothes, yung body, but then maybe for feet, and working with podiatrists for foot science. There could be high performance footwear coming out of the Philippines in niche markets. Because medyo mahirap na po tayo pag if we're going to be competing on the basis of yung pangmaramihan na very commercial. Because there could be other countries that would give more competitive prices. So aside from looking at production to see and providing machines that for the footwear industry, maybe we could take a look at coming up with smart designs in coordination with DOST. For example, if you're going to look at Nike, they make high performance footwear for competition. Or ASICS, they study the actual human movement. And there have been some niche players that have been coming out, wherein they do 3D scanning, 3D molding, computer-aided pattern making, and then instead of coming up with products that are just $80 to $100 that they can ship to a client abroad, they do something specialized and then they can sell it for $1,000. So there is that aspect po that we can take a look at of how can we develop niche marketing and the type of products for fashion, and working backward, looking at our yung education system. I think with LaSalle, you have something called an exploratory textile program that we're doing with DOST. Please continue that. Kailangan din yan ng MOA na ma-sign. Yes, sir. Nagpa-follow up po kami para sa the LaSalle University. Okay. And then we were hoping that we could continue with exposing students to the science and technology prototypes, machines, and programs available at DOST. Kasi sila na po yung susunod eh. We're not doing this for us, but for them already. So, any other things? So, meron tayong 3D modeling to continue, working with actual mga scientists that maybe if you could help us po with mga material science, developing more material science graduates that could help with materials that can be used for our textiles, yung local textiles natin, that would have natural fabric. And then even if it's not natural fabric, we could also look at chemical type of fabrics, but then something that that would have that niche market also that will be known for. So right now, meron po kayong RIPIC. Please continue that. Love na love namin yung RIPIC program ninyo. At sana, with the help of Congress and the Senate and the national government, sana each region will have a RIPIC. Yan ang dream po namin, sir.
Maraming salamat po, Ms. Cariza P. Cruz Evangelista, Chairperson, Philippine Fashion Coalition. Ngayon, dumako naman tayo sa isang professional association, ang Nutritionist Dietitians Association of the Philippines. Makasama po natin ang current president nito na si Professor Zenaida F. Velasco. Magandang araw po, ma'am.
Sustansyang araw, Secretary Boy de la Peña and Onin, at sa lahat ng mga kasama po ko po ngayong araw na ito.
Yes, ma'am. Ang Nutritionist Dietitians Association of the Philippines ay isang professional organization na accredited ng Professional Regulation Commission. Layunin po ng asosyasyon ito na maipaguyod at maiangat pa ang nutrition practices at dietetics profession sa bansa. Sila po ang nagbigay daan sa pagkakapasan ng Republic Act 2674 noong 1960. Ito ay isang batas para ma-regulate ang practice of dietetics sa Pilipinas. Sa kasalukuyan, merong 36 chapters ang NDAP sa iba't ibang probinsya sa Pilipinas at patuloy po sa paglilingkod para sa dietetic profession sa bansa. Professor Velasco, bilang kasalukuyang Pangulo po ng ENDAP, ano po ang vision ninyo para sa inyong asosasyon at paano parang makatutulong ang science and technology intervention para dito?
Ngayon po, ang association po, talagang gusto po namin pangalagaan ang kalusugan nating lahat sa pamamagitan ng tamang nutrisyon. Kaya nga nandito po tayo ngayon, ang FNRI DOST, napakalalim na po ng ating ugnayan mula po dun sa mga food pyramid, food exchange list, at kami po ay napaka-aktibo. Miyembro po kami ng technical working group. At ang bago po natin ngayon ay kami rin po ay miyembro ng Scientific Advisory Board for Nutrigenomics at kakapirma lang namin, Secretary Boy ng MOA with FNRI DOST para po sa gagawin naming mahalagang training po sa mga dietitians po. Kailangan palakasin po natin yung kanilang kaalaman at ang kanilang skills para lalo po tayong makatulong.
Onin, gaya na nabanggit ni Ma'am Seni, ay kapipirma lang ng Food Nutrition Research Institute at saka ng Nutritionist Dietitians Association of the Philippines. Last week lang ng isang Memorandum of Agreement. Siguro magandang bigyan tayo ng konting details ni Ma'am Seni tungkol dito sa bagong agreement nila ng FNRI.
Opo, Secretary Boy. Kami po ay we're honored na napili niyo po ang NDAP na maging partner niyo po dito sa Memorandum of Agreement ito. So, napapansin namin at first time lang po talaga gagawa ng tinatawag na training needs analysis ng mga nutritionist dietitian. Ano ba talaga ang kailangan nila? Paano ba kami makadevelop ng isang module na magiging responsive at relevant? So ito na po yung panimula at ang aming mga kasamahan po dito ay yung mga dietetic practice group. Sila po yung isang grupo namin sa NDAP, iba't iba po sila. Meron po kaming dietetic practice group sa sports, nutrition and wellness, sa renal, sa diabetes. So marami po yan. Sila po yung makakatulong para sa susunod po na training ng FNRI at DOST. Napakahalaga po yung education and training. Talagang akma na po yung mga training na yan. Talagang makaka-responde po sa mga pangangailangan natin.
Ma'am Seni, meron ka bang matutukoy ng mga specific technical services na sa tingin mo ay kailangan ma-provide ng DOST o ng FNRI sa inyo?
Okay. Sa isip ko po, Secretary Boy, pinakauna po, kailangan ma-address po natin yung food insecurity. So dagdagan po natin yung ating Nutriban. Marami na pong variant, yung variant ng carrot, ng squash. Natutuwa rin po ako dahil malaki po ang problema natin sa malnutrition. At meron na po kayong nagawang micronutrient powder. At tulungan rin po natin yung aming kasamahan ng mga dietitians para po set up sila kahit ng maliit na business po at maging adapter rin po sila ng technology niyo po.
Alright, maraming salamat po, Professor Zenaida F. Velasco, President, Nutritionist Dietitians Association of the Philippines. Sigboy, baka may mga nais pa ipabatid sa ating mga panauhin at mga taga-subaybay.
Salamat, Onin. Alam naman natin ang napakahalagang kliyente, isa sa napakahalagang kliyente ng Department of Science and Technology ay ang mga nasa industriya at sa mga profesyon. Kaya importanteng up-to-date kami sa kanilang mga pangangailangan at sa kanilang mga vision for their sector. So ngayong pagkakausap-usap natin dito, ang dami kong nakuhang mga relevant updates coming from our industry and profession partners at iyan ay mapag-uukulan ng pansin ng DOST, whether we are talking of food, nutrition, or livestock or wearables. Ang dami kong natutuhan ngayon na very relevant updates. At sana kahit magpalit-palit ang mga leadership sa mga asosasyon natin ito at dito rin sa DOST ay magpatuloy ang collaboration. At nakikita ko na marami pa rin tayong positive, positive in terms of our socio-economic development na pwedeng ika nga makita o maasahan. Kailangan lang talaga ang tulungan at saka talagang sipag at syaga. Salamat.
Maraming salamat si Boy sa aming pong pagbabalik. Makasama namin ni si Boy at ang ating mga panauhin sa pagsagot sa mga tanong ng bayan. Huwag po kayong bibitiw, magbabalik pa ang DOST Report. Oras na para sa ni Secretary Boy ang tanong ng bayan para sa unang katanungan mula po kay Nora Gamolo, Diaryo Pilipinas. For Secretary Boy, approximately how many enterprises or associations apply for DOST subsidy every year? How much budget is allocated to help these businesses or trade associations and enterprises every year?
Iba-iba kasi kada programa may ibang bilang, hindi mo naman pwedeng hindi comparable yung kanilang mga ina-apply ang programa. So dun sa nabanggit kanina ni Ian, yung small enterprises, yung set up technology upgrading program at saka alam din yan ni Jeffrey, humigit kulang mga around 800 firms ang aming bagong kliyente every year, At yun naman mga naging kliyente na kahit tapos na sila ay tuloy pa rin ang pagkuha sa mga serbisyo sa Department of Science and Technology. Yun ang yung mga nabanggit naman na may kinalaman sa mga serbisyo sa mga testing, kamukha ng sinabi kanina ni Jeffrey, yan ay mas marami kasi yan ay dating at dating ang mga nagpapatest at nagpapatulong halimbawa sa iba't ibang aspeto, sa packaging, sa kanilang yung sinabi kanina, yung product shelf life, yung ganon, at saka yung mga analysis, yan ay tuloy-tuloy lang ang dating. At yung sinabi kanina ni Jeffrey na medyo may kamahalan nga yung mga test at kung pwedeng magkaroon ng mga cheaper ways of determining whether safe o hindi yung food, yan ay ating pagtutuunan ng pansin. Alam mo naman ay maraming bago parate. Nung araw hindi namin inaaral yung halal. Ngayon isang malaking programa na yung halal kasi isang malaking bahagi na rin ng industriya. Nung araw ang PTRI hindi naman pinag-uusapan ng fashion, puro textile lang at saka dyes ang pinag-uusapan. Ngayon kasama na sa aming programa kung paano magiging responsive sa fashion industry. Kasi diyan ginagamit yung mga textiles. So, iba't iba ang bilang. Pero yun ang nabanggit ko kanina, isang example, yung sa setup, around 800 a year ang bagong kliyente.
Ito po'y tanong para kay Mr. Fabian Maximilian Cabriga. Paano naman po makatutulong ang interventions ng DOST para malunasan ang African swine fever at sa paano paraan sila nakatulong? At sa palagay po ninyo, paano maiwasan ang ASF gamit ang siyensya at teknolohiya?
Thank you for the question, Sir Onin. Regarding po sa ASF, isang napakalaking problema po na kinakaharap hindi lang po ng commercial swine industry, kasama na rin po dyan ang native pig industry dahil dito sa virus na to, just like COVID, wala pa rin siyang gamot o vaccine na nakikita. May dinidevelop pero kailangan po natin pa rin i-testing. So kailangan po ng tuloy-tuloy po na pagsasaliksik, research and development po ng ating ahensya ng DOST para po makapag-come up tayo ng vaccine po kung meron po tayong ma-develop. Mas malaking pong tulong yan lalo na sa magbababoy po ng ating bansa. Kasama na rin po dito yung mga early detection na maka-develop po tayo ng mga parang swab testing para sa ating mga farms. Alam ko meron nang na-develop pero hindi pa po yata ito na ano sa FDA, hindi pa siya na-register. So yung mga ganun po, kailangan po natin yan dahil napakalaki po ng epekto nito sa ating swine industry.
Para naman po kay Mr. Jerry Urquia, ang tanong mula kay Bersuraran na Radyo Agham na 25, naapektuhan po ba ng pandemya ang mga SME sa Laguna at paano nakatulong ang DOST para matugunan ang inyong mga suliranin?
Totoo pong naapektuhan ang maraming MSME dito sa Laguna. Unang-una, ang MSME talagang ang limited lang po yung kanilang mga capital. So kapag nasiraan ng produkto, malaki ang lugi po talaga sa kanila. Tapos yung mga pasalubong dito, walang talagang tao kapag nagkaroon tayo ng mahigpit na quarantine. Kaya wala din pong market. Ang tulong po ng DOST dyan, yung ginagawa namin upang mapatagal ang buhay ng produkto. Yung nagawa dati na mga seminar kagaya ng GMP, ng food safety, ng food sanitation, yun po ang mahalagang tulong na nakukuha namin sa DOST.
Ang tanong mula kay Narisa Piscos ng Happy Morning Show YouTube channel para kay Ms. Carissa Cruz Evangelista. Ano po ang assistance na binigay ng DOST para maiangat ang fashion industry sa ating bansa at sa paanong paraan ito nakatulong para mapabuti ang inyong samahan at ang inyong mga miyembro?
Salamat po sa tanong. Ang DOST ay naging partner namin na tumutulong sa fashion industry dahil sila ang nag-test ng material para sa isa sa mga proyekto namin na gusto namin itaguyod. Yan yung Protective Outerwear Project. At ang DOST ay kaagapay at kasama din namin sa pag-prototype ng mga sapatos at ng mga yung 3D scanning. Isa sa mga designer namin na si JC Buendia na tinulungan din siya na magkaroon ng 3D scanning project. At meron ding ibang mga designer na nagpapatulong din para magawa din yung 3D scanning project. So, talagang nagpapasalamat kami at sana'y magkaroon ng ibang mga proyekto kasama ng DOST tulad ng paggawa ng mga kurso kasama ng mga fashion schools. We have 15 fashion schools which includes also Lasal. Sana meron ding ibang mga programa na gagawin kasama ng PWU sa Davao. Meron din kaming ISAC-U sa Iloilo. Maraming mga eskwelahan na kailangan ng joint program kasama ng DOST para sa materials development. Kailangan din ng anything related sa tech book kasama ng TESTA with DOST and looking at different types of new technologies dahil gusto namin mag-develop ng niche market para lahat na matulungan namin magkaroon ng pera, di ba?
Alright, maraming pong salamat. Ang tanong mula kay Lyndon Planilla, Philippine Information Agency at Divina Pastora Reyes ng Unlad Bayan, NCR News Weekly, paano po magtutulungan ang inyong samahan at ang DOST sa mga susunod pang panahon?
So, napakahalaga po ng tulungan namin, yung collaboration namin ng FNRI at DOST. Kasi po kami gumagawa ng mga guidelines para po sa chronic kidney disease. Yan na po isa nating problema. At tumutulong rin po ang DOST para po dun sa education and training ng aming mga nutritionists, dietitians. So pagkagaya po nung aming inilabas na guidelines for persons with substance use disorder, nakabuo rin kami not only the guidelines, but meron rin po kaming recipe book para po makatulong sa mga iba't ibang institutions.
Alright. Maraming pong salamat. At muli po, Secretary Boy, maraming salamat. At sa ating mga panauhin, Mr. Jerry Uroquia, Mr. Ian Maximilian Caprica, Professor Sirada Velasco, at Ms. Carissa Evangelista. Mga kaibigan, abangan nyo rin po ang Expert Talk online tuwing Miyerkules at Bantay Vulcan tuwing Webes alas 5 ng hapon kasama si John Miranda sa DOST Facebook page at YouTube channel. Mas marami pong balita mula sa mundo ng siyensya at teknolohiya ang ating pag-usapan. Kaya tutukan po kayo tuwing Biyernes alas 4 ng hapon dito sa DOST Facebook page. Ako po si Oren Miranda. Ito ang mga balitang may kinalaman sa siyensya at teknolohiya para sa bawat Pilipino straight from the S&T Authority ng bansa. Ito ang DOST Report.